Hey, what's up guys, it's Michael here. I didn't really know what to make a video on, but I think I've definitely figured it out. Now I'm going to be talking about video games, more specifically fighting games, and the DOC practices. Because recently, Dragon Ball FighterZ had its Fighters Pass, which is the Season Pass, and a lot of people were talking about it like, oh no, but I mean, it's really nothing new. This stuff has been happening for a while. I mean, look at the Street Fighter games, look at the just about all these games. They always have the DOC announced beforehand, like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Um, we may not always know what the DOC is, but we know that there's some coming. Like I said, there's nothing new, so I don't really feel the need to really complain about it. I mean, it's cool. I mean, at least there's you know DOC coming. But I feel like the main reason why people get mad about this is because they're like, oh man, the game's not even out yet, and you're talking about DLC. Well, I feel like it's kind of good to do that so they get hype around it. Also, you may be wondering why can't they just delay the game and put the characters in? Well, I'd like to believe it's because, budget-wise, they can only create what they need to, and then when the launch happens, they get more revenue to create these DLC guys. So, I mean, that's just my take on that. But I also want to talk about more on the fighting game platform, because a lot of games really are doing this DLC thing, and it is a bit much now, especially Capcom with their platform wise with the Street Fighter games like Street Fighter 5. But honestly, this doesn't really make me mad. I'm sort of a thing where you think everyone would kind of realize by now to just kind of wait, especially if it's a fighting game, because obviously more often than not, there's going to be another edition. Look at Street Fighter 5, like I've been saying, there's the arcade edition coming out. And even before that, before there was even digital downloads and stuff, there'd be Street Fighter 2. Like how many Street Fighter 2 versions are there really? I don't even know. I've honestly lost count. There's so many. And it's just sometimes you just gotta wait. I mean, even NetherRealm has done it with Mortal Kombat, with Mortal Kombat XL. You know, and also the complete edition of Mortal Kombat 9. That's also a thing. So I mean, this sort of thing happens, and yeah, it is kind of like a bust. It is a little but I mean, this stuff happens. What are you gonna do? Just wait, I guess. I mean, it's better to support them while it happens anyway. But the thing is, you're hype over a game. I'm just talking about if you're hype over a fighting game, obviously you're gonna want to play it at its height where there's the most player base, which is when the game first comes out, and it's not going to be when the new version comes out a year later. But really, it's up to preference and what you like to do in the game. For instance, if you're someone who likes playing online and stuff, maybe you should get the first version and then just get the DLC, I suppose. But at the same time, if you're just playing more casually, maybe just locally with your friends, or just want to play a story mode or an arcade mode or something, then I'd say just wait. Now I will say that I was kind of a victim of this whole practice, I suppose, because just recently, well, my brother bought it, but essentially we got Street Fighter 5, and then legit 2 weeks later the arcade edition got announced, which I guess should have been really expected, but it's not a big deal. I mean, it's just kind of ah, dang, but it's just it's very interesting when this stuff happens, because more often than not, the XL edition costs less than the base edition. For instance, look at Mortal Kombat X for one. I believe XL, because my friend bought the Mortal Kombat X version and not the XL version at one point, and it would cost more to buy the DLC than to actually get the XL version. So it was kind of a rip in a way, I suppose, if you didn't really notice that, or you didn't know there was a better version, stuff like that. It just kind of sucks, especially because look at Street Fighter 4. There's arcade edition, and then there's the other one, which is Ultra Street Fighter 4, which just happened after, which means there's 3 versions of that game. So at the same time, where does this whole thing stop? But I'm not here to try to complain. I'm just here to try to talk about this, let everyone know that stuff like this just happens, and you gotta deal with it sometimes. Besides, I feel like Arc System Works really knows what they're doing with the Dragon Ball FighterZ thing, so I'm not really gonna hate on it. I mean, odds are there's gonna be more than 8 DLC characters, by the time the game's life ends. But I mean, the game's not even out yet, so I mean, let's just wait to see where everything goes, how it all happens. Although the thing that does really make me weirded out is the fact that with the collector's edition of that game, you don't get the season pass, which is a thing which a lot of games do, where if you buy like the collector's edition or something, you get the DLC, for free essentially. At least, because the way Injustice 2 did it was, if you got like not the highest edition, but the second highest edition, you would get the first wave of DLC for free. So I don't know. I guess these companies need money for the DLC, so they have to make DLC to get the money to make the other. It's just like a whole thing, but it's nothing new. It's just kind of like, damn. I do wish that Dragon Ball FighterZ though would release the Fighters Pass with the collector's edition. Maybe they will. I don't know. I mean, this whole thing was just announced and stuff. Because my point being, if it's like $140 or something, 120, I don't know. It's over $100 for sure. So, because if you were to buy the base game with the Fighters Pass, it'd be $95. I'm pretty sure, because the Fighters Pass is $35. So you would think that the collector's edition would come with the Fighters Pass as well, but I think it's because it's the cost of the statues and whatnot, like all the collector's edition stuff is bringing that price up. But oh well, I don't know, things happen. Guess we got to deal with this. I mean, this is the way the fighting games are and always have been, even before the digital age, as I said. So either like if you want all the characters and don't want to pay for the DLC as it happens, then I guess wait. But if you are really hyped for the game and want to like play online and learn with everyone else, be in this community like at the start, then I guess buy it at, as soon as it comes out, and sadly probably pay more for the DLC than anybody would if they would to wait. But then again, we don't even know about this Arc System game, if there is going to be another one. But if you look at other Arc System games such as Guilty Gear, they've released a better version, or I guess that's not really the correct term, like a more updated version before. So I mean, it's kind of to be expected with this Dragon Ball FighterZ game that there is going to be a better version as well, because like I said, there's nothing new. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which makes me also believe that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is going to get the same treatment once all the DLC comes out, etc., etc. It might be like even more. So who really knows by this point? Because like even Nintendo does stuff like this with stuff that's not fighting games. So look at Mario Kart 8, and the Switch came out, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and there's extra characters and stuff. So, this whole practice, like, I guess you'd wish it would just be like just an update, and it's just like a digital download where you get just this, with everything. I know a few things have done that as well. Like Naruto Ninja Storm, there is a better edition, but really all you had to do was download it, and there was another physical copy, I believe. I don't know. It's just there's a lot I could say. There's a lot I could go on and on about the DLC practices of these companies and how they do this and why they do this and why they need to do this and how this is just something that usually happens anyway. But by this point, I think I'm gonna just go around in circles and circles, and I really don't want to do that. I just want to just talk, get my points out, and let it flow. So I'm gonna end this here. Hope you enjoyed. I got my social media in the description. I see you in the next one. Hope you have an amazing day. Later.